Mr. Johnny DeLeon, if you would come up for Blue Stem Nursing Home and give us a quick update.
Good evening. I'm Johnny DeLeon, and I'm here today representing Lahana Health Service District, DBA Blue Stem Village. And thank you, Brad, for the invite. And I'll just kind of make me a little timeline of some of the relevant dates. So as most of you may know, we celebrated our grand opening on October 13th, 2023. And we're prepared to open up. We started hiring employees, 33, back in September and October of 2023. And then November 7th, we had our first 3 villagers enrolled. You may hear them referred to as residents in other nursing homes, but we prefer to call them villagers. And, so we had our 3 enroll. Now, you can enroll any number of private pay until you get certified by CDPHE and HCPF. So we enrolled our first 3 private pay, and CDPHE comes out 30 days later and gives you a survey, and you have to have the 0 deficiencies. If you get 0 deficiencies, then you can go ahead and get approved to enroll our capacity, which is 56 beds. Well, lo and behold, November 26th, we had some cold weather leading up to November 26th. The fire suppression system pipes up in the ceilings and the rafters froze, and on November 26th, it was a warm 60-some degree day, and they thawed and expanded and burst the fire suppression system pipes, causing a leak in our north building, which houses 28 individuals. And then as I was on the phone driving to Big R to get some items to get the water out of there, because they had 3 to 4 inches of water in one side of the building because of they couldn't find the water shutoff. It's a brand new facility and so forth. So 30 minutes later, the alarm went off in the south building, and they had 1 to 2 inches of standing water. And that one did get shut off earlier because obviously they knew where the water shutoff was, and just a mirror image of the north side. 30 minutes later, the alarm goes off in the admin building. Thank goodness that fire suppression system leak was contained to the soffit right outside the entrance, so that was a pretty easy fix, although it still had problems in it. So we've been really fighting insurance carriers. We now have a over $1 million claim on the books for the building equipment. There's so much that was damaged, and I shouldn't say it's over 100, but it should approach over 100 here soon. So in essence, we spent the next 5 to 6 months having different investigators come out from the insurance carrier, from the general contractor. The general contractor's name is the law company. So we had people coming out from the law company, the general contractor, the USDA, everybody, and others were coming out. The subcontractors sent their own investigators out because obviously they were anticipating lawsuits and everything else to happen. And so we couldn't wait anymore. We filed our insurance claims, and we're going to let our insurance carrier, QBE, subrogate against Pre-Action Fire as the subcontractor. They've admitted liability. The general contractor has admitted liability. They know they're on the hook. So they started repairs June, I can't remember exactly, but the first week in June. And they fixed this north side, all of those repairs. They went in, ripped out all the old, put in new, tenanted, blew in insulation, and got approval from Fire Prevention and Control on August 14th of this past summer, 2024. And CDPHE came out, did their survey where we had to have 0 deficiencies. We did have 0 deficiencies. So they approved us. However, it needs to go to CMS, which is the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid. And so it went to them, and they've had it now since September 24th. And we've been waiting for approval from them for 6 weeks now, going on 6 weeks. So it's very frustrating because we just want to get our approval and start admitting additional villagers. We are losing quite a bit of sum of money. The board asked the question, do we want to lay off employees a year ago? Because obviously this happened in November. Come January and February, I should say our management company, Vivage Beacon, asked the board if we wanted to lay off employees, and I said, absolutely no way, and you know what? We're not laying off employees. Had we done that, it would have been difficult to rehire employees. Who wants to go work for a company that's going to lay off? So I'm adamant about not laying off, and the board agreed. We did not lay off anybody. And so we've been carrying them at a big loss every month now for 13 months. So we're hoping there's some relief on site here coming up as far as getting the last CMS approval that we need so that we can go ahead and start filling the 56 beds. I don't think we'll have a problem filling up to 28, and I think as word gets out that we're truly, truly serious in enrolling people this time, private pay, Medicare, Medicaid, everything, insurance carriers, I think word will spread throughout the valley. In fact, I've already received phone calls from CEO of Benton County Nursing Home asking about, were we gearing to ramp up, and I said yes. And he said, I know, because we've got 4 transfer packets ready to go. I know there's going to be additionals. We've heard of some from Rocky, Ordway, and others, and we're also hoping that just new ones, not necessarily those ones transferring loved ones back into the valley, because we know of some, my uncle for one, that's up in Pueblo that wants to move back to the La Junta area, where it's easier for his family to go visit versus having to drive to Pueblo every day. So we're anxious. If you'd have told me it was going to be this many years until we got this thing open, I'd have said, no way, it's not going to. But it has. The construction company has been at this now for 38 months, and I know they're probably watching the video stream because they like to look at our Facebook page, and we post stuff, so, but that's fine. I just state pure facts and stick to it. And it's been delay after delay on their part. We've had some, according to them, some supply chain issues. And I get that, but there's also been turnover in their site superintendents. We've had at least 5 different site superintendents, which hurts our project's continuity, and that's definitely contributed to the delays. Early on, the bank that we were going to use, they pulled out because of COVID. We were nearly approved, ready to go break ground. And COVID hit, back in 2020. They put the project on a 3-month hold and said, let's see how the sales tax revenue holds up, which, by the way, it's holding up strong. The estimates by whoever made them from the city council back then, and I know Mr. Melliff was heavily involved, they said $1 million a year. It's turning out to be $1.1 million finally, and this year we should hit $1.2 million in tax revenue. So. But anyway, yeah, so our tax revenues were actually strong and up 5%, and the bank still pulled out after the 90 days, citing nursing homes were high risk during COVID, and we get it. We understood how things spread quickly throughout nursing homes and all. We also had a general contractor pull out because they could not meet our guaranteed maximum price. We had told them from the onset, don't bid if you can't hit it, and they thought they could hit it, and they couldn't, so they pulled out. And then we signed on with USDA. Anybody who's worked with government, we're very, very, very thankful for USDA. But it is a 13-month process to get approved and get your construction money. So we're there. We're to the finish line, provided nothing else goes wrong on us, and we're hoping and praying that it doesn't. And we should have. The law company gave us an update last week. They should be done with their final repairs on the south building. Admin is approved. Admin got approved on, let me look at my notes here. Most of this I'm doing off memory. October 30th. So admin was, so we've got those, and we're just waiting on CMS again to give us approval. The law company for their share still needs to get the south side buildings completed, and they're saying the end of November. So based on that, we should be able to start moving in, everybody thereafter, and close our permanent loan financing. Hopefully the week of January 6th is what we're targeting. So there's my update. I don't know what questions you have, but I could probably answer because it's been a long process.
That tax, it has a sunset, correct?
After the loan is paid off. So after the loan is paid off, in our case 35 years, because it's a 35-year loan, we don't expect it to take that long, but you never know. And then after it's paid off, it reverts to a half-cent sales tax, or at the election of the board members 30 years from now, they can do away with it altogether. I think it'd be foolish for them to do away with it because nursing homes are very expensive to continue to upkeep and run just with the Medicaid and Medicare reimbursement rates. So, But so to answer your question, 35 years.
Any other questions for Johnny?
So, for one, I want to commend you guys and the board for, maintaining the jobs of the employees that you had already hired. But besides, the obvious repairs to the buildings and anything, have you investigated anything to kind of be able to recoup some of those costs from retaining the employees?
Yes, so part of our insurance claim with QBE is we did file for lost business income, and because we had very strong projections, I mean, many companies will not get lost business income. It's just denied because they can't really prove it. We were able to prove we had a wait list of 90 plus individuals waiting to come on. We had an entire staffing model, probably 20 pages, different tabs on Excel spreadsheets, outlining everything, showing what the staffing model was going to be, groceries, you name it, everything, training, all based on the census. So if it's census is 20 people, here's what it costs us. As it increases to 30 people, here's what it costs us. We're able to present that, and through May 31st, they have presented us with $614,000 in reimbursements, which is huge. And they still owe us for June, July, August. However, we have gotten an independent third-party adjuster involved to handle our adjusting for us, because it's kind of been a struggle getting some of these insurance proceeds, and all they do is go fight insurance carriers. And they want a percentage of it, of course. And on the business equipment, personal property, so forth, they've already recovered $28,000 that the insurance carrier didn't identify, and they're looking to, could be over $100,000 that they'll recover there. Because we did that, however, QBE said, we're no longer going to calculate the lost business income for you using the numbers you provide. You got to do that. So, unfortunately, that forced us to hire an accounting forensic CSI team to come in at a cost of approximately $4,000 to come in and help us recreate this business loss income schedule so we can present it to QBE and recover additional dollars. Obviously, if they're lower, why would we submit that? But we're expecting them to still be high, because from our perspective, there was June, July, August, September, October, because we're still not open. And then in the future, we had our projections showed where we had 56 as of this date and so forth. So yes, we definitely are pursuing every means possible.
Thank you, Johnny.
All right,
thank the board too.
Yep, I will. They've done a great job.
Appreciate it.